It's now time for another Broken Neck Radio interview.
Hey everybody, this is Zang here from Broken Neck Radio. I have with me on the line, I have Morgan. He is the vocalist and bassist for the band. Let's see if I can pronounce them terrible at names. Vesperia.
Hey, that's right.
Hey, I got it. Awesome. How you doing, Morgan?
Not too bad. Yourself, man?
I'm doing well. Happy long weekend.
Yes, you too.
Now, you guys are one of the bands that are on the finals, that are going to be competing in the finals for the June 6th at the Opera House in Toronto for the Wacken Metal Battle Canada. The winner, of course, will be going off to play the one of the stages at Wacken Open Air in Germany. So, Morgan, quick question. Well, a couple questions. First and foremost, how did the band Vesperia come to be?
It sort of was born out of a need and want to play metal, and being very bored with all the certain styles that were sort of prevalent in my scene around here at the time. I just kind of picked up the guitar and started hammering away at it with another guitarist in the area, and we sort of came up with the beginnings of what will become this band a few years later.
Mm-hmm. And so how did you guys come up with the name Vesperia?
Well, it was actually called a few other names before. We started out as a band called Dark Abyss. It was just sort of a juvenile take at a metal band, and then we became Bolero over time, and we started doing all this folk metal stuff. And then we started getting more into extreme metal, and we started playing riffier stuff and adding a lot more textures and a lot more articulation and attention to our orchestrations. So then we decided that because the style of the music had changed so drastically over time, we decided that the name of the band should change to represent that style a little more accurately. So it became Vesperia.
Nice. Now, you yourself, you play bass and you're the vocalist for the band. Do you play any other instruments other than bass?
Yeah, absolutely. I play pianos. I play a variety of woodwind instruments. I'm a guitar player myself. I'm very into flamenco styles. Mm-hmm. I pretty much play anything I can get my hands on, really. It's because I work at a music store, so a lot of stuff is available to me daily.
Now, are you self-taught or are you professionally trained?
I'm professionally trained in a few areas as far as vocals and bass guitar are concerned, but I self-taught myself piano and guitar.
And who are some of your, well, I mean, obviously Vesperia is your baby, and the bass guitar obviously is your focal point right now, being with Vesperia. What any influences, growing up or even now today, that help you out with keep you inspired with the bass?
With the bass, Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm not too old myself, but there's a lot of artists within a few generations that's definitely inspired me. I'm very inspired by like Iron Maiden and like Necrophagist, well, and then right up to modern day, or like a couple of years ago, Necrophagist, and then I really love power metal styles, and I'm really into a variety of Viking and black metal, and it's all over the place, man. I draw inspiration from everything.
Nice. Now, with the vocals, do you do any? Is there any do you do any exercises pre-show? I know when I spoke to one of the previous interviews, they were telling me that I believe it was Chris Jericho for Fozzy. He takes like a sugar water exercise before each show. Is there anything that you do to help keep those vocal cords up to shape?
Yeah, every performance before we play, I do the Venom Screaming exercise. I like to, in the studio, use tea with honey in it, and actually that keeps my voice in shape and my phrasing strong. And just vocal exercises, just practicing linguistics, everything definitely contributes to that.
Now, explain to everybody, in brief if you can, the writing process for Vesperia.
The writing process. I used to write all the music, actually. I wrote the first two albums, Voyage from Vinland and An Olden Tale, in their entirety. I just was a very bored teenager, and I just sat around and played guitar and bass and just wrote everything on Guitar Pro. So that was how the first two albums were written. When we hired Frankie as our lead guitar player, he brought a whole new level to the band, and you're going to be noticing that very soon in all the new material. Mm-hmm. But he basically started doing a lot more of the writing, where I was able to focus a lot more on the management side. And he basically, the whole new album that we're about to go record, he wrote in its entirety with some with the exception of a few songs that I kind of helped in. But he sits there and he writes it all on guitar, and we'll sit there in a rehearsal situation and figure out all the different dynamics of the song, and where each part sort of goes in like a storytelling sort of perspective. It's a very involved process that involves each member, but and in terms of the lyrics, I actually sit there and I write them all myself. I'm very into creative writing, so there's a lot that goes into the writing process as far as the lyrics are concerned.
Will any of the listeners be surprised? Are you going to have any of the new songs played at the June 6th battle final, or is that going to be a secret and you don't want to reveal it?
Actually, we've been we've been playing all the new music for a few months now. We wanted to see how everybody sort of reacted to the new stage of the band, and it's been very positive, so we decided to go forward playing all the new material, and we're going to be releasing music as we perform the music. So when somebody hears it and they like it, they can go online, and actually in a couple of weeks it's going to start to be available, but they'll be able to go online and it's all there.
Now, one of the segments that we like to do in our little chats with the artists is, of course, gear check. As you know, most metalheads are musicians anyway themselves,
Definitely.
and they really like to know what you guys are using on stage. Could you give us a brief description of what gear you're using, when you're on stage, both with your bass guitar and, of course, with your, the mics that you're using when, for the vocals?
Yep, definitely. I use a combination. Sometimes I use a Shure Beta 58 for my microphone, or I'll use a Series 55. A Shure 55 Series 2. One of those larger, sort of classic-looking microphones. They have a very wide dynamic range, so they can get a lot of the low frequencies, a lot of the high frequencies, and they can add a lot of characteristic to your voice overall. So that's what I just use that straight. I don't use any effects or anything, so it's just straight vocals. For my bass, I'm endorsed with Ibanez basses, so I use the new SRFF 806 fan fret 6-string bass as my main instrument.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have the Ibanez SR 706 TK, which is another 6-string bass, and then I use the SR 506, which is another 6-string bass. I don't know, I just like the feel of them. They're just comfortable for what I'm doing. And
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so just for bass amps, I use Mark Bass, and I have a Sans amp preamp and Line 6 wireless.
Oh, nice. Now, I was going to ask you. I haven't personally seen you play live. Do you pull or are you picking?
I use my fingers.
Oh, you use your fingers?
Yep.
Do you find that alive? I'm sure you've done both. Do you find sometimes that it's do you do finger exercises to help, keep the strength up?
Yeah, actually, Planet Waves makes something. I can't remember the name of or for the life of me what the hell it's called, but it exercises each finger, and I use it a lot when I'm on the plane or when I'm driving around or something. But definitely finger exercises every day, especially considering we're playing stuff over 200 BPM, and I'm using my fingers and trying to match a lot of the 16 to 30 second notes. So it's technically demanding, and it has to be precise, or else it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, definite finger exercises. I do a lot of chromatic runs on my 6-string basses, and that definitely helps quite a bit if I do that for like 20, 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, people don't realize that, playing on stage, it's like, being in a sport, right? You got to get yourself all, I think they said it in Zombieland, you got to limber up right before you get on there.
Definitely. I used to be in a lot of extreme sports, and I used to do a lot of like crazy fucking hiking expeditions and stuff, and playing music is definitely a lot more physically demanding sometimes than a lot of this physical activity outdoors. It's, I think, a combination of the being on stage and being in the hot par cans, and also actually having a bit of the nerves on hand too.
Mm-hmm. Now, the reason why we're actually here, of course, is the Wacken Metal Battle Canada. That's, of course, June the 6th at the Opera House in Toronto. This is for the final, for that last shot at Wacken. Now, with the previous rounds, how was when you think about when you started round one? how has the band's expectations, have they changed at all from when you guys started round one to now when you're going into the finals?
It's become a lot more focused determination. We went in very attentive to each detail of our performance, and we really knew what we wanted to bring every time we came. And obviously, we want to show up and have a good time with everybody, of course. But we really want to we really want to do it. So we jammed very consistently, and it was. We just wanted to do our best at the first round, and when we won, it was a combination of joy, and we were excited to go on to the next round, of course. So we upped our game a little bit for the next round, and I feel like it definitely showed through on the second round. It's just a surprise that we actually managed to make it to the finals for the second time, because we competed in the 2013 Vakken battle, and we made it to the final round, and it's just exciting to be doing that again. So we feel like we want to give it everything we have for this final round to show everybody what we're actually capable of.
Now, with each round, as it progressed through, and you guys, finished first place in each round, was there any band in each round that really stuck out to you that was like, "Ooh, you guys got to watch out for these guys"? I mean, of course, every band was good because they're there for a reason, but was there any one particular band that just stuck out and you were like, "Ooh"?
Yeah, actually, every round we've been playing with our drummer's other band, Hallows Die. And,
oh yes.
They shredded every time, man. Those guys are extremely talented. So it was kind of funny because the first round 2 bands advanced, and then we ended up going to the second round with them too. So it was definitely Hallows Die from the start.
Yeah, I saw them in 2012. Actually, they did a Western Canada tour. Actually, I have one of their I have a signed poster from them up here in the studio from Hallows Die.
Does it have anything to do with eating babies?
No, actually, just a picture of the 4 of them, and it just says "Keep it loud." And they've all signed it.
Wow, that's surprising.
Now, the Vakken Metal Battle Canada, the finale coming up. Is there any band that you're really keeping an eye on for this final?
All of them, man. They're all extremely talented bands, and I've checked them all out individually and seen everything that they've got online, and I think I've added most of them to Facebook too. So it's I'm seeing everything they're doing, and I'm hearing everything they're doing, and I think the competition's really stiff. I mean, on top of that, I actually know a couple of them personally already, like the dudes in Midnight Malice and Goat Horn and Nordheim. So I know what they're all capable of. The other bands are sort of new to me, with the exception of Endless Chaos, who I've seen online and heard their stuff before. But I think it's gonna be a fucking wicked show, regardless of what happens, man. All these bands are gonna destroy. Yeah,
you're gonna be graced with the presence of the guys from Chilliwack, BC.
Fuck yeah! I've thought of trying to book there many times, but I never thought there was anything there. So it's gonna be sick to see a band from there.
Now, you guys have a tour, actually. The Vakken Metal Battle there, June 6th at the Opera House, is actually the second day of your East Coast tour. Any cities that stand out that you're really, really excited and looking forward to playing?
All of them, man. Every time we play, it's a new experience. I find there's always new people coming out and new things we see, but we've never been to the East Coast before. There's like Fredericton, Halifax, Moncton, and Charlottetown. We've never been there, so we don't know what to expect. So we're eagerly anticipating them all equally.
So when you guys come back from the tour, are you going to finish off recording for the new album?
Well, we've got a kind of EP on the go. We're going to release it digitally before we go, along with a brand new music video, actually. So there's going to be that out, and when we come back from that, we're going to have a few weeks to rehearse, and then we're actually taking off for the West Coast.
Yes, because you guys are doing Armstrong Metal Fest this year, which we're one of the sponsors for.
That's right. Yes, very excited.
Have you been to Armstrong?
Yes, I played it last year. Actually, I was playing bass for Crimson Shadows for a few years, and we hit that up last year.
That's right. Yeah, we saw you there last year. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
I won't be there this year, actually. Sean Harris, the Asian Invasion, hosts the Monday Metal Mayhem show, 8 to 10 Mondays. So I had to throw that little plug in there for you.
Yeah, man.
For him. He will be there, so I'm sure you guys will have a chance to chit-chat. Now, last and most importantly, do you want to let the listeners know what they're going to be able to expect from all the shows, in your own words, on the upcoming tour?
You're going to see a visual representation of what we've been working towards for the last couple of years, and I think you're going to find it equally exciting and stimulating visually, because we bring a lot to the table, and we've been rehearsing for quite a bit, so we hope we can give you the best show possible.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for taking the time to chat with us. That's, of course, June 6th at the Opera House in Toronto, the Wacken Metal Battle Canada finale, with the winner heading off to Wacken Open Air this year.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great show. Thanks again. You can check these guys out. That's, of course, Vesperia. You can check them out on their Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Vesperia Metal. And, of course, www.vesperiametal.com.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again, Morgan.
Thanks so much, man.